Hello and welcome to Hood's Hyde Park Edition. I'm your host, Katie Berg. Today we'll be taking a closer look at Chicago's Hyde Park. To understand where a place is, it is important to know where it has been. Let's take a look at Hyde Park's own unique history.
Located just barely south of downtown lies Chicago's Hyde Park. The formation of the neighborhood known as Hyde Park came to be in the 1850s when Paul Cornell bought 300 acres of land in the area south of downtown Chicago.
Chicago at that time was centered around where the river comes into Lake Michigan, and I think the end of the city limits was about at 39th Street.
To help expand upon his purchase, Paul Cornell made a deal with the Illinois Central Railroad, and with it brought a lot of commerce and travel through the Hyde Park area. In 1890, John D. Rockefeller and others helped to develop Hyde Park even further by making it the home of the University of Chicago. Rockefeller said that the University of Chicago was the greatest investment he ever made, and it would continue to help the developing neighborhood grow.
If the university weren't here, it wouldn't have happened the way it did.
In 1893, Hyde Park hosted the World's Fair, also known as the World's Columbian Exposition.
Of course, the World's Fair was the ultimate event in Hyde Park history. The whole world came to the World's Fair. It's left its legacy even today. Jackson Park, the lakefront, the preservation of the lakefront, the South Shore community, the Hyde Park community, the variety of architecture that remains to this day has its origin in the construction of the World's Fair.
The 20th century brought both change and expansion to Hyde Park.
Hyde Park is unique in the whole city. We're staving off what would have appeared to many to be the inevitable change from an all-white neighborhood to an all-black neighborhood, which was what was happening in the mid-20th century. In Hyde Park, there are mansions that sell for $2 or $3 million, and there's subsidized housing. Neighborhoods that were all black, were originally all white, then were all black, are now becoming more multiracial than they were. If we can have more stable, biracial, multi-economic level communities, that's what we should have.
Hyde Park was partially the setting of the 2003 nonfiction novel The Devil in the White City, which not only takes place during the World's Fair, but also focuses on one of America's first famous serial killers, H.H. Holmes. While not originally from Chicago, Holmes built a hotel in Hyde Park filled with secret rooms and passages designed for his devious intent. He used the World's Fair not only as a reason for his hotel, but also as a way to find travelers and other people he could trick who weren't from the area. Hyde Park's rich history and gathering spaces have evolved it into its unique current identity. Now that we've heard a little bit of Hyde Park's rich history, let's take a look at several different aspects of the neighborhood. It is an interesting balance between the University of Chicago and the community surrounding it. It is the nature of this balance that is leading to a revitalization of the neighborhood. In recent years, the University of Chicago has purchased several properties along downtown's 53rd Street strip, including the historical Harper Theater and Harper Court. The college has breathed new life into the theater, which had been vacant for a decade, and is now a perfect spot for students to catch a movie between classes. Harper Court has been reimagined with fresh new retail, restaurant, and entertainment options that rival the trendiest Chicago neighborhoods. Let's expand upon this now.
Hyde Park's restaurant and retail scene has recently received a facelift thanks to support from the University of Chicago, who has purchased many properties in the area, such as the historic Harper Theater and Harper Court. Both properties are located along 53rd Street in downtown Hyde Park. Harper Court is quickly becoming a shopping destination for residents and tourists alike. The University of Chicago is working hard to revitalize downtown in an effort to attract more students and faculty to the area and introduce several independent pop-up shops to Harper Court, met with a multitude of support and positivity from the residents. Comfort Me Boutique, an eclectic Lincoln Park shop owned by Melanie Thomas and her two daughters, Alyssa and Bethany, is one of the first small businesses to open a pop-up shop in the area in August 2013.
We thought it was a really good opportunity. The university actually approached us. They found us in Lincoln Park, came to the store, scoped us out, and liked what they saw, and they asked us if we would come and do a pop-up, and decided to go for it. It's a really cool project. I think it's great for the neighborhood. They really needed something like this. More shops, more restaurants, more things to do, especially for the student body too, and their parents. I love being a part of it, and I've been here since the beginning, so it's been really, really cool to be a part of that. So we originally signed up to do a pop-up for just 6 months, then it became a year. Then we're actually going to be moving to a permanent location on 55th in the shopping center. It was my mom's idea to open the store, and she asked my sister and I if we would do it with her, and we both wanted to quit our jobs, so we said yes. Our concept is comfort for the mind and body and soul. Almost all of our apparel is either like soft fabrics or made in the U.S., comforting fits. We want women to feel comfortable in what they purchase here. We also do a lot of home goods and gifts, like soaps and lotions and bubble bath. We always love to go out to flea markets and estate sales. Our target customer, she's late 20s to 60s, I'd say, working stay-at-home mom. Some of them are college students, graduate students. She just likes to be comfortable in what she wears, but also be sophisticated and a little trendy too. So there's a lot of local support. I have a lot of regulars already. They all really want us to stay. They support us 100%. I think they definitely need, more shopping, like small businesses, as well as, a few more restaurants, just to have options. But I think that this is a great start, and I can't wait to see what's to come. The neighborhood will keep thriving, and I think it'll eventually be kind of like a destination neighborhood of Chicago, where you go to Hyde Park to go to this restaurant or to this boutique. So I think it's going to be really, really big.
Alrighty guys, we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Today, we support the wise, the technically intelligent, the persistent, and the award-worthy. By doing this, we've accepted that without them, we would be nothing. A flatlined pulse, if you will. No matter the obstacle or how far the distance, they are always ready to help. So today, we salute the engineers for their hard work and patience as we continue to ask for guidance. Today, thank an engineer. Don't be afraid to ask for help. The 7th and 14th floor cages are here for you.
Welcome back to the Hyde Park edition of Hoods. Now we take a look at a softer side of Hyde Park.
Hyde Park Cats has a few major parts of our mission. One is trap, neuter, return, which is trapping feral cats, cats that are not, don't have the temperament to be in someone's home. That has the effect overall of controlling the feral cat population because they don't reproduce when we take them out, neuter them, and put them back. Our other major area is adoptions, because often when we pick up cats, they are friendly. So if we find cats in the area, we take them in, do all the vetting, and then adopt them out.
I was going to be an adoptive parent for Goldie. He fit in quickly. He's just doing his best to be a house cat, even though he's not used to it.
The adoption fee currently is $85, which is actually less than your vet bill would probably be if you took the cat in yourself. But because we get we have relationships with these clinics that deal with stray cats, we're able to get it taken care of, usually at a slightly better price. And when we've done it, they've been vaccinated, they've been checked for any communicable diseases or other health problems, they've been spayed or neutered, and they've been microchipped. There are a lot of different ways to volunteer. The one thing that we always need more of is foster homes. We don't have an actual shelter anywhere, so we are dependent on foster care You can take donations directly through our website. There's a donate button at hydeparkcats.org. So for funds, that's probably the easiest way. We also, food and supplies, larger donations we could send a volunteer to pick up, but Parker's, the pet store on 55th and Kenwood, they will also take small donations for us.
It's a win-win. I hope you're as happy as I am, Goldie. Are you happy here? Basically.
Today we have a representative from Hyde Park Cats, Anna Schmidt. Thank you so much for being here, Anna. It's great to have you. Can you just tell us a little bit about Hyde Park Cats?
Yeah, Hyde Park Cats is a organization based in Hyde Park that does both trap, neuter, return of cats and adoptions. And we're a completely foster-based and volunteer-based system. So there's no shelter, there's no clinic, there's no individual location. All the cats are held in people's homes.
Okay, and how did you get involved in it?
When I moved into my apartment in 2007, it's in a 6-flat building, and we found there were 3 adult cats living in the backyard, and one of them had just had kittens. And that's really typical for our neighborhood and for a lot of Chicago. There are 500,000 or so feral cats in Chicago.
It's a lot of cats.
So it's pretty typical, but I sort of was casting about looking for advice and help dealing with these cats. And I found Taryn Wine and Mary Jean Crail, who had just taken over feeding a feral colony in the Woodlawn neighborhood. And they gave me some advice and help. And later, when they were looking for help with the colony, I started helping them, and they eventually sort of formed this group, this organization, Hyde Park Cats, which actually just became a 501c3 really recently, which means that now all donations are tax deductible.
Oh, awesome. Cool. Yeah. So taxes, hey. Also, so that's a lot of cats, 500,000. You guys need a lot of volunteers. How many volunteers do you have right now?
I'm not sure the exact numbers because people sort of come and go. A lot of our volunteers are university students and graduate students, so they may be around for a few years and then move on. But we have usually around 15 or 20 cats in foster homes at a time, and those are all volunteer foster homes. And then we also have a number of people like myself who don't actually foster cats. My husband's allergic, so we don't have any cats in the house. But we do things like I'm the event coordinator. People can help with fundraising, with trapping and taking care of cats in the alleys, and with driving. So few people in Hyde Park have cars that one of our biggest needs is for people to drive cats from Hyde Park to clinics in other parts of the city for neutering and vetting.
Okay, and if people are interested, where can they contact you? Where can they look us?
Yeah, you can go to hydeparkcats.org, and there you can make donations, contact us about adoptions or volunteering or fostering, or any concerns you have or questions about Hyde Park Cats.
Okay, cool. And do you have any upcoming events? Right, you said.
Nothing coming up right away because we're all sort of going away for the holidays, right. But we'll probably be having another event, a fundraiser or a social event in January, and information will be on our website. You can also follow us on Facebook or Twitter.
Oh, okay. Oh, you have a Facebook. Are you going to get on Instagram at all? You think you're
going
to try? The pictures
I think
would be
we do
really
have
helpful,
some Instagram,
right?
Somebody doing some Instagram photos too.
So do you have like a social media person then too?
Yeah, we have people who, we actually have some of our former volunteers who have moved. One of our people who does a lot of our social media now lives in Paris.
Oh, wow.
But she just
oh my goodness.
is able to do the social media stuff from there.
Well, thank you so much for being here. That's all the time we have for right now.
Thank you.
But not to worry, we'll still have another showing today at 11:30 as well. So be sure to tune in. I'm your host, Katie Berg, and I'll see you next time. This has been Hood's Hyde Park Edition. Thank you so much for watching.